Welcome back to Being Back Podcast. I'm your host. So, there's been a lot of talk in my comments on my TikTok saying I look like an African. Now, I'm not offended in a way, but I'm gonna tell you how that's a slur. It's an ethnic slur. Because being called an African is disrespectful to Africans. Let's get into it. So, if you ever see an African, right, you be like, yo, what Africa you from? And they got the best, especially the ones who got the best black American costume on, got his little Gears, Nikes, and, you know, all the fashion and clothes. He got his vernacular up. He been in New York City. He thinks he fit in, right? But I'm not going to tell an African how we know we're African. But they get pissed off. I was born in America. But what part of Africa you from? Who said I was African? Nigga, what part of Africa you from? I'm an American. Nigga, we your grandparents born, right? Like, Africans get mad as fuck you call them an African. Like, you blew their cover or something. How you know I'm an African? Who told you that? Those types of, we look alike. No, the fuck we don't. Africans is like wolves. Shout out to wild feral wolves and feral dogs and shit, right? And we like American pit bulls. We've been bred here for generations. We got a certain look, a certain aesthetic, a certain attitude about us. We are bred to do a certain thing, and these wolves or these feral dogs are not. So they think because they got a collar on their neck and they eat out of a bowl now, and they go to the vet, that makes us the same. No, motherfucker. Every species of animal in America recognize their own. You just can't put something foreign with the native species and them not know that someone is fucking different. No matter where you go, I can go to Africa right now and not say a motherfucking word. Just my whole aesthetic is that nigga's foreign. You know what I'm saying? Put me anywhere in Africa, they're gonna be like, that nigga's foreign. I don't gotta say nothing. It's how I move. It's how my eyes move. It's how my body moves. It's my confidence. Our aura is different. The energy is different. How I look at things is different. Africans ain't got what we got. Not just genetically. We're different genetically, but we're different spiritually. We're different culturally. We different because our environment, our terrain, our ecosystem is different from Africa. We are exposed to different Europeans and Latinos and Asians where they're exposed to just other tribes. It's a different mentality. We oppressed by white people. They're oppressed by each other. We fight racism. They fight tribalism. Racism is not really the thing, and tribalism is not really ours. Yeah, we have gangs. Everyone have gangs, but the gang doesn't rip the whole. It isn't a tribe. That's just people from different families. I'm saying individuals from different families that beef with each other, as opposed to tribes beef with different families. It's family. I'm saying we have a different aesthetic, but they don't think that they're different. They think that they fucking fit in. I mean, let me get back to the topic. Being called an African is a slur to black Americans, right? Calling us African Americans is a slur. It's a misnomer because no one's called, let's say African American, no one's called American African, right? When two Americans have a kid in Africa, that kid is not an American African. There's no such thing as a African South American. There's no such thing as an African European. There's no such thing. So being called an African American is a misnomer. So when you say AA, make sure it stands for All American, right? But I'm gonna say this: Africans in America try their best to erase their Africanness, right? They try to hide it. They try to change their vernacular up. Even you could tell an African because it's something about black Americans. No matter where you're from, we have this authenticity. We have this spirit and this soul that the African lacks. When an African walks, he walks like a prehistoric. It's like a prehistoric fit. You could tell these are old Homo erectus type people. You know what I'm saying? And that's because listen, I'm gonna say this. Let me be clear. There are beautiful Africans in each country, right? There are beautiful Africans, but the stigma on Africa isn't beauty. The peak of beauty is the American standard, white or black. We are the peak of it, right? So I'm saying, so being called an ugly American is better than being called an African. And I'm gonna tell you why. Africans bleach their skin, right? They hide their cultural clothing. They hide their music. They hide everything that makes them African. None of them are proud. They have low self-esteem as a collective. Now, when we say African, we don't talk about Ethiopians. We don't talk about Egyptians. We don't think about North Africans. These people get to exclude themselves from the whole diaspora, right? But West Africans, South Africans, not the colored people, but like the real the Bantus, like the Bantu booty scratcher. These motherfuckers got a thing with bleaching their skin and want to be American and want to speak European languages, and then want to guilt us for having European blood and want to guilt us for speaking, the colonized language, even though we have founding father blood. They want to say we descend from Africa. We descend from slaves. Nigga, we descend from slave masters. If you trace every black American through his paternal side, it's going to lead to a white man more than likely. 90% of the time because of the transatlantic slave raping, the mass rapings. We ain't got plantation last names. We got people's last names. We got people's DNA. We have all the founding fathers, all the presidents, all the slave masters, all the buccaneers, or everybody who laid the foundation for America. That's in us, whether it's indigenous, whether it's European, whether it's African. And that's what makes our aesthetic different. We have a different mixture as opposed to an African. Now, if you call an African an American, he won't get offended because that's his goal. That's what he's trying to be. These people, everybody wants to be an American. Caribbeans want to be an American. Africans all these people want to be an American. American isn't just citizenship. Like, we don't give a fuck with the white people. Look, you can't just come a natural citizen into our culture. You can't just be born into our culture if your parents ain't of this culture. If your great grandparents aren't black American, you aren't black American, because now you got like probably 3 generations of these immigrants, right? The thing is, an African don't want to be called an African. They get offended once you identify them as an African. They feel insecure. Some of them you'll meet and they be proud because they from the elite African. They always was the shit in their country. So if you the shit anywhere, you think you the shit everywhere. So these people are the elite in their country. They great grandparents were slave masters. They are the sons of politicians. They are the corrupt people of the country who gets to eat while everybody starve. Those people are proud. But the average everyday African, especially the first generation, they have an identity crisis and they have confidence issues. That's why they overdo it. You can tell that African because they overdo things. A black American from New York and an African or Caribbean or anything, they overdo it. They language is too much slang. It's too much pronunciation. They try to be too New York, or they try to be too whatever we is. They try to be too fashionable. They try to be too colorful. No matter how much you see an immigrant, they came here wearing bright colors. Their countries are bright colors. They come here and they still wear fucking bright colors. Like they wear orange and lime green and these blue. They weird shit. I'm saying they can't hide it. It's in them. But they tried their best to Americanize and assimilate to a culture that they ain't from, which is weird. A black American, well, you got some weird black Americans who try to be on some African, you try to assimilate to. That exists too. It's a phase people go through. It's not a lifestyle. These people come here and they assimilated. They didn't even assimilate for real. They not really assimilate to our culture. They think they're assimilated. They're different. Their ideologies is different. Their beliefs, it's what they say is different. It's something we won't say. They do things we won't do. You know what I'm saying? They're not really that talented in our in our music, or they're not that gifted in our sports. They just not the American. It's not the genuine article. They always lack, and they always overcompensate. They have a lot of childhood trauma because they had got picked on and shit. Everybody get picked on, but more so, they take it more personally because we always picked on as kids, but they take it more personally as if we were supposed to praise them for being different. We were supposed to praise them for being Africans. It doesn't happen like that because we don't give a fuck. Kids don't give a fuck. So instead of getting praised and being accepted, they got bullied a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, they don't like themselves. When you call an African, they don't like it. When you call a black American an African, or say y'all from Africa, y'all trying to knock us down a notch. Like when you call an African an American, or you look American, or you don't use American, that lifts them up a notch. When you call somebody a black American, an African, you try to call them ugly. So I said they're like war hogs and shit, because you know Africans look different. Now there are some who are exceptional, handsome, or beautiful, but we confuse them as Americans. See, when a black American is ugly as black as fuck, we will call them an African. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Africa got the ugly standard, American got the beauty standard. We are the litness. We are the apex of America. We are the most successful black people. Well, we're the only black people, but everybody, well, we the genuine black people. Like, everybody just died. Everybody identify as black once they come here. In Africa, they don't identify as black till they come here. The Caribbeans don't identify as black till they come here. So when I say black, I'm only talking about Americans, really. But for the sake of argument, I'm gonna say, like, we're the only melanated people, because we're not part of the diaspora. We part of the American diaspora. We are European descendant. Yes, we are African. We're African ascendant. We are European ascendant, and we are indigenous ascendant. But we ain't just from the African diaspora. We are from the European diaspora. Why? Because we have European DNA. We are from the lineage of the white man. Let's not confuse that. The African woman and the white man, and the indigenous man or woman, you know what I'm saying, is what make a black American. Not the $5 Siberian, you know, Indians, not them Chino slaves, not them Manila Mexicans. I'm saying, like, them Chinos, them red, those are fake Indians. But I can say another day. But those do make an American, so we have different aesthetic, we have a different hair culture, we have a different hair texture. Like, you might get some peasy hair black Americans that exists, but for the most part, our shit be wavy, a little more. African shit be peasy as fuck. Like, the peasiest shit you ever. Brillo. It be fucking pure Brillo, right? Black American shit is seldom Brillo. My shit wavy. You know what I'm saying? It's kinky, but it's wavy. I cut my hair, my shit waves up naturally. I don't gotta brush it. It's wavy, you know what I'm saying? That's because we have an ab mixture. Like, Americans are an ab mixture. We ain't just come from Africa because we'll be just Africans. When you say y'all come from Africa, no, you're trying to knock us down a notch, and y'all ignore our European and our indigenous blood. Because when it knocks us down a notch, they feel like they lift themselves up by knocking us down, because that's their culture. Their culture is to knock other people down and hate on each other. It's called tribalism. Tribalism is just hate. You know what I'm saying? So they deflect by saying we have self-hate. When we say we ain't African, we come from Africa, they feel that we have self-hate. No, it's deflection. They have self-hate because they don't want to be Africans. They want to dress like us, talk like us, do our music. They don't want to do nothing new. They don't want to pioneer nothing. They don't want to invent nothing new. They just want to be it. They just want to put our shoes on and put our clothes on and put our history on. They want to use everything we got to their advantage. They want to use our pain for their platform. You know what I'm saying? They want to say our ancestors is their ancestors. They want to say that the people they sold in America was their ancestors. And they built America. They be saying a lot of deflecting, right? They be saying we lazy, and the reality of it is they're lazy because they're leaving the country to, like, it's a lot of self-esteem issues. It's a lot of psychological issues these people have. They come here, they love white people. They love marrying white people. They love kissing ass. They always wide-eyed and always grinning. We ain't wide-eyed. We don't fucking grin. Like, our grin don't show teeth. Our grin is like they grin is all fucking teeth. Bright eyes. I'm saying, like, bright fucking eyes and shit. It's a different thing. We move with a different confidence amongst white people. We don't feel inferior around white people. We don't kiss white people ass because we don't have to. Because our parents and our grandparents was calling these motherfuckers crackers and the man and fuck these motherfuckers. We have our household experience to white people is always talking shit about white people. Africans, Caribbeans come here always talking highly of white people because they give them opportunities. They give them jobs. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different vibe and feeling. So when people say that you look African, they trying to knock you down. It's like saying you ain't cute or like you ain't all that. Nigga, you look African. I look African. Do I feel African? Like, you can't fake being a black American. I mean, you could, but you feel something's off with these motherfuckers. Now, I'm not ashamed to say I'm 1/16 Jamaican. 1/16. One of my great parents. So one of my great grandparents is half Chinese and half Jamaican. I got a picture somewhere. I'm gonna show you that picture. I'm saying because an immigrant came here and had a child with a black American woman from Florida, which is my great grandmother, who had my grandmother, and my grandmother had a child with a man from Virginia, and that was my father. My father had a child with a pure black American, indigenous Lumbee, Tuscarora black woman, which is my mom. And some Cherokee in there too. Two sides. Both Jones is kind of Cherokee with it. That's a whole different story. My thing is, Africans don't mind looking American, but they hate looking African. They hate when you call them African. Black Americans, nobody, when I was growing up, right, no one ever said, yo, you look like African. No, we said African booty scratcher, but no one said, like, my Aunt Bug was the darkest nigga. No one said Aunt Bug looked African. No one said no one looked African. That whole concept didn't exist. Like, calling somebody African is like saying, you like a beggar. Like you have flies in your face. It like you shit in the street. It look like you walk barefooted. It like you look ashy. You look dirty. You look poor. You know what I'm saying? Nobody would disrespect nobody like that. No one would call nobody African. Is like calling somebody African. It's probably the worst. It's a slur. Think about it. If you call somebody American, you look upright. You look like you fight for your rights. You look like you create culture. You look like you invented some shit. It look like you all fuck somebody up. You know what I'm saying? It look like you don't take no shit. It look like you might, kick your ass a little bit. You might pimp a bit. You something suave about you. Something ganged up about you. You say you look African. You look corny. You look remedial. You look homey. You look dusty. You know what I'm saying? You look peasy. You look like you got snot in your nose. They got flies in your face. And that's the whole thing they trying to run from. But, self-esteem is a fucked up thing to have when it's low. You know what I'm saying? And you would think that the people who was always free would have a high self-esteem. We wasn't always free. But we have the highest self-esteem in the diaspora. Now Jamaicans, they have they shit. You can't cut Jamaican shit. Like Jamaicans, they did the shit. They did the shit. You know what I'm saying? And everybody in the Caribbean want to be Jamaicans. Jamaicans are the top shotters of the Caribbean. Undeniable. So they don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? They come here and they Americanized too. But they the second most confident people because we ain't part of the diaspora. But they're the second melanated people in the world that's confident. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jamaicans might bleach their skin too. I don't know. I think Jamaicans bleach their skin a lot. But that's not American. They won't bleach our skin. But for the most part, though, an American represents so much greatness, so much history that people don't have. A lot of people have been here for thousands of years, hundreds of years, always free, and never accomplished nothing. So they want to attach to people. Everyone want to be part of the winning team. If they don't want to be black American or they don't want to be part of white American society, but they don't want to be who they are. And that's why it's a slur to say, you look African. Who the fuck says that? Other than, only Africans say that. You look African. I never heard that shit in my life. They look like I got flies in my face, motherfucker. It look like my mother got saggy, baggy titties with rusty, crusty nipples and shit. It look like I wore rags and I walked 1,000 miles barefoot. But it don't look like that, motherfucker. Like I never had a fucking school in my neighborhood. It don't look like that. You look like we had to fucking fetch water. That's what you say a nigga look like? That's fucking insane. And listen, calling somebody African American is it's a misnomer, and calling somebody African is a slur. You call that African an African, he didn't even want to fight. What you mean? We all look alike. They love saying we all look alike. No, who told y'all that? Y'all look fucking, first of all, y'all have all types of Africans. Yeah, tall black ass Africans, little pygmy Africans. You have Nigerian warhawk face Africans. You have South African booty scratcher Zulu Africans. You have Congo black or gorilla looking Africans. Do you have some orangutan looking Africans? They kind of are the same. They came from the same tree. They're related. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't denying none of my African blood. Never deny that shit. But it's a mixture, and it was refined in America. Anything African about us is refined and removed in America. We bleached the fuck out. We the only group of people, the only melanated people, right, who's a minority, who grew up around all these Europeans, right, for hundreds of years. And then for about 100 years, we grew around Latin people, Mexicans and Puerto Ricans mostly. Now, Dominicans and Cubans came in 70s. Dominicans came in about probably the 90s. Cubans came in probably by the 70s. They races are flux, but different regions have different type of Hispanics. Up north, we have Puerto Ricans. Now we got Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. West Coast, they got Mexicans. Florida, they got Cubans and whatever, and Haitians and all that other shit, right? But an African will get offended if you call them African. If you take the American, they will fight for this Americanness. Like, nigga, I never seen people with foreign fucking parents be so pressed to be American. Nigga, you're not an American if your parents ain't American. American is a bloodline. Look, it was people here from 1526 to 1775. Whoever was here, whether it was African slaves and African freedmen, Moors, right? British, people from Amsterdam, people from Spain, Spaniards, and people from wherever people was at. When America was established in 1775, those aren't Americans. And everyone who descended from them people, Black Americans, and whoever was, descended from the Indian, which is Black American too, the white, which is Black, we have all that. Those are the Americans. Everyone who came after that are the immigrants. Irish, who was here 7 generations, who bred back to only Irish, will only be an Irish person, not an Irish American. He might say he's an Irish American, and that might be no, you're fucking Irish. You're still a European. Only time you become Americans when you breed with an American. Like if I have a kid by a Caribbean, that kid is now half American. It's American through the father or through the mother. It's Americanized. But y'all can't come here and just. This is not what it is. And I don't give a fuck what a white person say. I don't give a fuck what, nigga, you're not Black and you're not American. I just want to cover that. Like, it's really a slur to call somebody Black American. Or it's really a slur to call somebody Black American African. It's really a misnomer to call Black American African American. We're not fucking African Americans. In 1987, we was African Americans. How the fuck we African Americans now? Because somebody had an agenda to take us down a notch by making us less American, by calling us African. Nah, there's no way. No. Before we was African American, we was Black. Before we was Black, we was Negro. Before we was Negro, we was colored. Before we was colored, we was fucking Indians and mulattoes or just property or freedmen. You know what I'm saying? Moors and all that other shit. But we was never. African American is some shit that's only about almost 40 years old. It's 36 years old. For 36 years, people have been going by African American because it was forced upon us. Nobody voted for this shit. We ain't fucking African. It's insulting to Americans. We don't call people European Americans. We don't call people fucking, South American Americans. Yes. That's a continent. There's no South American Americans. There's no North American Americans. But it's African Americans. But it's no American Africans. It's no South American Africans. The shit makes no sense. So stop being racist by calling Black Americans African Americans or African. Because when you say African, you mean the ugliest fucking African possible. You don't say, oh, you look Ethiopian or you look Egyptian. Yeah, y'all mean that shit. Y'all mean, we look like the motherfuckers who got a bowl of some fucking rice and somebody who was fucking got flies on their face. Cut this shit out. That's a Big Bad Podcast, man. That's all I just want to say. It's fucking disrespectful.